Have you ever felt like selling some of your other watches to add the newest Rolex to your collection? And you need a Japanese watch, a German watch, a Swiss watch, a vintage piece, and a tool watch? Is it even possible to have an ultimate collection? Perhaps for the most ardent watch collectors, but it's more about the hunt and the enjoyment of amassing that collection. Watch collection stems not from money but from the love of it. Then there comes a point in every man's life when he starts to realize the value of something, and one of them is a choice of a nice timepiece, or two to mark life's milestones, not a bunch of some unused collection. Welcome to Lux Life, and when it comes to luxury and lifestyle, we've got you covered. But before we begin, don't forget to hit the like and subscribe buttons and be the first to check out our latest videos. Now, let's start. This method that I'm going to introduce is mostly done with affordable and mid-level watches and watch enthusiasts who want to say, okay, I'm going to sell about 6 watches and sell it to maybe buy one ultimate watch that I like. Consolidate and upgrade is one method you can use to upgrade your watch collection into something more useful and minimal. Let me sell those, and then I'll be able to get that Omega, the master chronometer that I've always wanted, but didn't believe was a real possibility for me until I sold off the majority of my watch collection. You've always wanted it, but you never thought it was a real possibility until you sold the majority of your watch collection. Again, I believe that streamlining and improving processes should in most cases be promoted, but the question is, where do you draw the line? If you do that with luxury watches, you may cross off names like Omega, Rolex, Zenith, Grand, Seiko, and Breitling from your list of options. Do you engage in this behavior? Do you plan on trading in your stainless steel Rolex for a more sophisticated piece made of precious metal? It is my understanding that some watch collectors have already made the transition. They have finished what they set out to do. They've gone all out and upgraded from having a luxury watch collection to having a high horology minimal collection. And they couldn't be happier with the results. In their time together, they've had a lot of fun. I think it depends on where you are in life, where you are in your career right now, what kind of lifestyle you lead, whether or not you can make that happen, whether or not you are mature enough, and whether or not you are a little too preoccupied. When you find yourself letting your mind wander and thinking, well, sure, I've got my entire precious metal date from Rolex, but take a look at that fantastic new Zenith, or this amazing Seiko reissue, or this limited edition OG Shock, or whatever the circumstance may be. When did you go from being more normal with a minimal watch collection to being more of a passionate watch enthusiast who has, a dozen different amazing watches? And when did you consolidate? How exactly can you determine which timepieces are essential? Which ones would you wear to work and in your spare time to ensure that you always look your best? Which ones will hold up over the years, continue to be valuable, and be passed down through the family as treasured heirlooms? Where do you even begin when it comes to consolidating all those watches? The first thing you need to do is acknowledge the fact that you have to thin the herd. This is the intervention, a wake-up call that it's gone too far and it's meant to stop. Getting to this conclusion on your own is challenging because of how complex it is. Did it occur to you when you had 5 or 6 timepieces that were exactly the same? This was only a small percentage of the loot, many of the items in which had been worn no more than once or twice in the prior 6 months, and this was only a portion of that. Do you plan on establishing a watch shop or a museum in the near future? In the event that this is not the case, go on to step 2 before it's too late. Now, I know the topic gets more and more interesting from here, but I want to know, are you now thinking about consolidating your watch collection? Let me know in the comments section below so that we can talk about it. The second step is to devise a strategy, which may include themes, color schemes, or brand names. If you are feeling overwhelmed, you should take a closer look at what you already possess and formulate a strategy for how you can sell it. A good number of you are unable to focus since you have a disorganized collection of watches that includes 45mm bronze beasts, vintage dress watches, and some which are delicate. If you are extremely goal oriented, you might have 4 different sets of watches, one for the workplace, one for the field, one for dressing up, and one for having fun. Rather than following a certain financial strategy, listen to your intuition. If you prefer blue dials or bright yellow and orange boxes, you should consider selling the monochrome components. Keep in mind that the way you like things could change with time, and that's entirely normal. For instance, you had your full attention concentrated on the Seiko divers, but you quickly became aware that almost half of them were just present for historical reasons. Then you will need to sell the vast majority of them and move on to step 3 before you give in to the temptation of purchasing unique compact chronographs. Step 3. The upgrade scenario. Give greater emphasis to the quality of your watch rather than the quantity of it. If you have fewer than 10 watches, but still feel as though you have too many, you might want to consider concealing the one about which you are at least certain for a month or 2. If you don't miss it, then let it go. If you want to get a superb piece like Rolex, you should sell those 3 or 4 unused dives first. Spend some time getting to know them, trying on different options, and determining which ones work best for you. It's possible that you made too many watch purchases online just to find out that many of them were never worn because they were either too big or too little. Selling is undeniably a frustrating process. However, make sure that you take your time, get some good photos of a clean watch, and add language in your adverts that is written well. It's possible that some dealers would accept trade-ins, but just as with vehicles, you'll end up losing a significant amount of money. Then there is the maintenance, as well as the rule of 1 in and 1 out. After you get rid of all the timepieces you don't wear and are left with a curated assortment of items, your aesthetic preferences will shift. You should remain with a 5-slot case if you like it. But if 10 is your lucky number, you should go with a 10-slot case instead. You'll invariably feel the urge to grow once again, but you should make every effort to adhere to a policy of 1 in and 1 out, not unless you can afford it. So if you have problems with off-handling your watch collection, then you might want to think of consolidating and upgrading it. And the best choice is always just go with Rolex. Check out our other videos to find out why. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to hit the thumbs up button, click subscribe, and hit the notification bell to receive updates in our latest videos. Also, feel free to leave us a comment. If you want to watch more videos, head on over to our channel to see more from Lex Live. See you!